Yo, what's going on guys, Dewobs here. Welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. Today we have more skins coming to Marvel Rivals, along with some extra lore that tells us even more upcoming skins coming later in Season 3. And we have the weekly update with a few changes and a brand new team up in Marvel Rivals. So let's start things off with the Fantastic Four First Steps bundle. Coming to the store on Friday, Marvel Rivals is celebrating the release of the Fantastic Four First Steps movie with these MCU skins, and now we finally know the exact price and what all the bundles come with for these skins. So, you can get the entire bundle of all 4 of these skins, which you can see on screen, for 3,400 units. Now, you can also buy each skin bundle separately for 1,400 units if you wish, and that will give you each skin directly, along with their spray, nameplate, and emo. What I will say is none of these skins come with MVP screens at the moment. Now, I believe this might be because the MVP screen would spoil part of the movie, and instead, we're going to receive the MVP screen later on, after the movie's actually been out for some time. I think that could be the case. Maybe it's going to be as part of some kind of free event, and then you'll be able to use that MVP screen, even if you didn't buy the skins, or if you have the skins, of course, then they will finally match. That's my guess on that. I don't think they just wouldn't make an MVP screen. I think it's just so they don't spoil the movie, because it's going to be a cool scene from the movie or something like that. But let's take a look at these skins in depth. So first of all, we have the Mr. Fantastic skin. Of course, the leader of the group, we can see he has his MCU outfit with the blue collar, and it looks pretty cool to say the least. And the Mr. Fantastic skin has this matching emo. It's his classic 4 fingers that he holds up to represent the Fantastic Four. Pretty cool, nothing too crazy. We then have the Mr. Fantastic nameplate to go with the skin. This one you can see looks a lot more like Pedro Pascal, which is pretty cool. And then we also have the Reed Richards spray that will go with the Mr. Fantastic skin as well. And you can see in the background a bit of gameplay of the Mr. Fantastic skin in action. They're all epic skins, so there are no special sound effects. It's just a cool MCU skin, pretty much. That's about the extent of it. Next up, we have the Invisible Woman, Sue Storm, looking great in her First Steps outfit. Of course, now this one has the white collar on the jumper there, which is pretty cool. Now, the Invisible Woman skin also comes with its own emote. This one, she kind of goes invisible, but she leaves just her hands revealed, and she throws up 2 peace signs, of course, also technically holding up 4 fingers as well, which is pretty cool. We also have the Invisible Woman nameplate. Again, this one looks more like Vanessa Kirby than the skin itself. And then we also have the Sue Storm spray. And once again, you can see a bit of gameplay of that Invisible Woman skin in the background, so you can see what it would look like when it's in action. Next up, we have the Human Torch skin, and I quite like this one as they do change his haircut, obviously making him look a bit more like Joseph Quinn from the movie. It's still not a huge resemblance, but they've got the hairstyle down. And once again, you can see him rocking that Final Steps classic style outfit. And now this is the Human Torch emote to go with it. You can see he lights his finger on fire like a candle. That's about it. We also have the nameplate. This one doesn't look too much like Joseph Quinn. I feel like they just made Reed Richards look so much like Pedro Pascal in the nameplate, but not really the same amount with the others. And then we also have the Johnny Storm spray, and then a bit of gameplay of the skin in the background, once again, so you can see what that looks like in action. And then the final skin is indeed the Thing. His one looks really, really nice. And then for the emote, he smashes his fist together, then holds up his fingers. He's only holding up 3 fingers, unfortunately. He's trying his best. And then we also have the nameplate, and then the Ben Grimm spray. And if you do buy the 3,400 unit mega bundle, then you will also get the Devourer of Popcorn, which is a nice little movie popcorn Galactus spray, just to show that you bought the bundle. So yeah, definitely a cool set of skins now that we finally know the price. A little unfortunate it doesn't have an MVP screen just yet, but I wouldn't lose hope. I do think there will be one coming in the near future that will be available for all of these skins. It'll probably just be a group emote. Like I said, probably going to be a scene from the movie. Now, what else do we have? Well, we have gameplay of the brand new team up between Human Torch and the Thing to celebrate the brand new Fantastic Four movie. Now, this team up allows Human Torch to pick up the Thing and fly around with him for a few seconds, and then launch him into the ground, which will then deal a slam, damaging enemies, launching them up, and creating a damage over time effect, just like with his slam, which will stop all mobility abilities, grounding the enemies within it. So a pretty cool team up, obviously a reference to the scene from the trailer for the Final Steps movie. Now we have the actual in-game look, and the cooldown seems to be just 30 seconds, which is pretty cool. And you essentially just initiate this like any other kind of combo team up, where you initiate the lift and then the other player can confirm it. And then you can fly around for up to 8 seconds and Human Torch decides where he launches the thing. He gets kind of a ring to show where he'll land. Or the thing, if he would like, can cancel it in the air if he'd like to. So very unique, seeing a team up to celebrate a movie. I think it's a lot of fun. I'm honestly here for it. I'd love to see something like this added in the future as we see more kind of collaborations. I don't think the team up's going to be in the game forever. It might do if it has much success. There's no current expire period on it. We don't know right now. Now, I know you guys are looking forward to what skins are coming next in Marvel Rivals. And while Marvel Rivals did reveal a bit of a roadmap that shows us that we are going to be getting the Phoenix Demon and Phoenix Panther skin next week, we did find some lore in-game that might reveal even more Season 3 skins coming later in Season 3.5, because in the Jeff the Landshark lore, which reveals the Guardians of the Galaxy along with Jeff going to Clintar and getting taken over by the symbiotes, we learn that both Mantis and Star-Lord were also combined with symbiotes and were briefly under the control of Null until Jeff saved them, and they stayed combined with the symbiotes, and this served as a bit of an upgrade. Of course, we've seen symbiote skins for Rocket, Groot, and Jeff the Landshark already in the Battle Pass, so it seems like there are upcoming Venomized skins for both Star-Lord and Mantis on the way, as suggested by this lore. So definitely expect those in Season 3.5. It also adds up with a leak that shows both Star-Lord and Mantis are getting skins on the way. So I thought I'd drop that bit of info for you guys. And we also have the weekly patch, which does have a few changes along with bug fixes. So first of all, we do have some changes this week to the accessory points. Of course, these allow you to get the little accessories that attach to your hero, and you'll now get 15 accessory points per match and 10 per match in practice versus AI. So you get those points a little bit faster. It's a little bit less of a slog to try and get those free accessories, which is nice. And then we also have some bug fixers. I'll quickly go over these. We have Spider-Man. They fixed a bug where his selection box could get tangled and display incorrectly when both a Spider Tracer and Burn Tracer existed at the same time. For Phoenix, they've corrected a minor scaling error in her hero select display. For Black Widow, they've addressed an issue where if she launched up during Edge Dancer, it could disrupt the subsequent multi-stage ability logic. For Rocket Raccoon, they fixed a glitch in Rocket's BRB, where when reviving a teammate, it would sometimes incorrectly display in the top right that it revived 2 teammates. For Cloak and Dagger, they've resolved an unintended crossover where their ultimate ability could be affected by another teammate's Cloak and Dagger teleportation, such as a shape-shifted Loki. And then for Phoenix, once again, they fixed an issue where Phoenix turning mid-air during her ultimate was affected by frame rate. Lower frame rate made her easy to control. That is a W. I noticed this. A lot of people brought this up on social media. When you were using Phoenix ult, if you had a lower frame rate, you could actually control it very easily. If you were someone who played with a higher frame rate, you could barely control it and you'd kind of just drift off the map. So that is all the updates we have. Some pretty cool skins. Definitely hoping for an MVP animation soon. And obviously more upcoming skins on the way. And that's about it for now, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.